What if I told you that how you speak to yourself and how you refer to your world around you is going to be a major way to overcome your nice guy syndrome? In this third step of the Overcome Nice Guy Syndrome is self-talk. We're looking at a radical intervention to try and address the way that we describe the world to ourselves and to others in order to be able to regain our stack and to overcome nice guy syndrome. I started this session and the planning of this session with the words radical honesty in mind. What I wanted to do was to try and improve people's radical honesty, the way that they see the world and themselves and their relationships with other people. Then I started to realize that being a nice guy is actually far from being nice. At best, it is being a wolf in sheep's clothing because you're trying to manipulate situations in your own favor. But at worst, it is claiming victimhood and higher moral ground when in fact you are seeking to cause other people to like you for all the wrong reasons. So let's have a look at how we can crush that essential dishonesty, reclaim our stack and start talking the talk. What we're looking at here is a major pattern interrupt. And so in order to interrupt this pattern, I'm going to lay down a challenge to you. Can you go for 24 hours without using any of the following terms or phrases to describe yourself, other people, or the world you're living in? Here are some of the victim phrases that we unconsciously or inadvertently use. We tend to say, "This happened," or "You caused me," or "See what you made me do." Phrases like this are going to betray an essential lack of personal responsibility. There must be better ways, surely. Well, stick with me for a little while and I'll follow up with some better ways to express ourselves. First, let's dive into a few more of those victimhood phrases. Phrases like, "I should," "I can't," "I'm going to," "They won't let me," "Circumstances get in the way." Phrases like this, which we drop all the time like pearls of wisdom into our conversations, are actually betraying our own inner lack of stack. Let's have a look at a couple more before we look at some of the antidotes. For example, do you ever find yourself saying, "I need to do something," or "I'm stuck," or "this or that person triggered me"? All of these are you surrendering your autonomy. What he's doing by using these phrases is suggesting that you're not in control of things. So how can we get back into control of things? While I'm here, have a look at the descriptions below because I provided some easy to read PDFs, posters and guidance for you so that you can have a look at how to reclaim radical honesty. As I said, I started out planning this as a radical honesty foray, but then decided that the way we speak to each other or the way that we refer to the world is going to be a better way to intervene, a better pattern interrupt if you like. So now you're getting two sessions for the price of one really. You're getting this information about this pattern interrupt and I'm offering resources for you that you can use to expand that knowledge and apply it, including the Seeker's Pledge, which is your way to overcome nice guy syndrome by making a pledge to yourself. Again, let's get back to the language we use and let's see how we can improve that language in order to overcome our nice guy syndrome. Often the biggest single word you can use to reclaim your stack is, of course, no. Simply learning how to say no to things without apology and without justification. But other words that you can use to reclaim your stack or terms are such as "I choose," "I decide." These kind of terms are now informing the world around you that you are taking personal charge for things that you decide to do and that you choose to do. And of course, another one of those big words that we can use to regain stack is yet. If you find yourself saying "I can't," add the word "yet" on. "I can't yet," because that's showing that you're having a growth mindset about it and that you are now willing to take charge of the decisions that you're going to make in order to get things done. Start thinking in terms of how you are in charge of your own responses to things. Instead of "this triggers me," start saying "I reacted to." Instead of putting the power of how you act onto other people and other situations by referring to them as triggers, start referring to them as things that you react to and the responses that you create as the things you do and decide to do in order to overcome the challenge. So what we're looking at here is a major reframing of how we talk to ourselves and how we speak to the world. This is going to have a double effect. A is going to inform you personally that you have decided to take charge, and B is going to project a more confident, self-assured, in charge and capable persona to those around you. Instead of relying on the nice guy approval-seeking mode, you can start working on your own personal honesty, and instead of seeking the approval of others for your validation, you can now start seeking your own personal approval of yourself. And believe me, the validation will come quite naturally as a result. And so what we're seeking essentially is a sovereignty shift. A shift in which you reclaim sovereignty over your own behaviors and your own actions, and this is displayed in how you speak. Instead of "look what you made me do," you can now say "I am the primary source." Instead of being a passenger in your life, you can now become the driver. Instead of being somebody who seeks externally for validation, now you can be the person who stacks their own internal, personal validation. And as a result of these things, you will shine through better. And you won't have to rely on nice guy strategies in order to, quotes, get your way. The final part of the pattern interrupt I'd like to suggest to you is that you learn to love social friction. Instead of running from social friction, learn to create social friction in your words and your actions. You're not talking about creating World War III here, you're just creating frisson, a little bit of excitement in your life and excitement in others when they realize that you are someone who can stand by your word. You are somebody who is not seeking their validation. You're someone who is locked in to their own sense of worth, and the words you use are going to betray that to them. Now, I hope this step 3 has been useful to you. In step 4, we're going to look at graduating into the center of our world. I'm talking about having that ability to hold sway in any environment. Instead of using tactics and strategies, nice guy syndrome, manipulation to get your way, I want you to start thinking in terms of how you can own your own stack, control your own autonomy, speak truth to power, and become somebody who has overcome nice guy syndrome. See you next time, and remember, as always, whatever it is that you dare to do or dream, begin it now.